We continue to highlight the dedicated session on the Big Fat Indian Wedding, recently held at the FHRAI Convention.
In the internet today, there is so much of wrong data about marriages. It pegs the Indian market to 130 billion, whereas we think it is 57.2 billion. We must also work on, through the information asymmetry, we should also work on building a serious data. While domestic weddings can get us currency, money, balance sheet, profit, but doing a few weddings like the Lake Como wedding can beget us lot of goodwill for India as a destination for Wed in India.
How important is this partnership between the wedding planner and the hotelier? And how does it benefit the client?
Doing weddings, and especially destination weddings, it's like doing the recipe of a cake, right? The temperature need to be right, the ingredients need to be right, the cooking method need to be right, and the skills should be there. And that's what we all bring it together in partnership.
Come the season, come the sayas, some of the hotel rates become so far beyond. Yeah, and that's especially happening in India, and that's something which we need to really talk about.
This is a round-the-year business, maybe 1 or 2 months of silence, but pretty much 8-9 months of business. Let's spread it nicely. Let's also reach out to the markets or reach out to the communities which also do not have to wait for November or February to have a wedding done or December to have a wedding done. But everything cannot happen in November, December, January, February. If it's so, then it's natural that we are human beings and we'll be greedy, right?
Is there an idea of green wedding which is a possibility?
As an industry, and some of us have actually woken up now and taken vows. There are no plastic bottles, there are none of that. We don't allow our caterers to bring in stuff like that. But that's only not even the tip of the iceberg. Every Indian wedding has 450 tons of wet waste per function that comes out of that. What do you do with segregation? How much are you contributing to landfills? And these are things that, as an industry, we are all waking up to.
We have to ensure that our processes, our design, our conception becomes sustainable, and we move towards maybe carpooling instead of, So I think the adambar, the grandeur will need to be controlled if we have to be sustainable. But today, because we are talking of big fat wedding, it's a little, oxymoronic to say in a big fat wedding you can do sustainability.
Which is such a diverse palette coming from all families. How do you think the hotel industry is coping up with it? How do you think, are the hotels really geared up to give a great food story in the Indian wedding?
The first thing that every hotel needs to understand is when you're hosting an Indian wedding, there is a huge emotional quotient that goes with it. Firstly, when the hotel gets that sentiment right, then they are going to lay out the entire red carpet for that client, right? If you're going to look at it like a conference where there is 2 veg, 2 non-veg, 3 starters, that doesn't work, And some hotels, are geared for this. They understand the sentiment and they will make sure there is no stone unturned in terms of the menu. And the hotels that can't keep up to it, then will have pressure from the clients to top this menu with an outside caterer. So I always feel that what a hotel can do, if they achieve it, why do you need an outside caterer to come in and do the same, right? So food is very, very, very important.